Coming up, we'll be on location at Blue Water Acupuncture in Gambrills, Maryland, discussing the benefits of acupuncture and how it can effectively treat many health conditions and improve your overall health and wellness with one of this region's top acupuncturists, Monica Brewer. Welcome, Monica. It's a pleasure having you on our program today.
Thanks so much for having me, Rocco.
It's your first time on our program, and we have a lot to talk about. So I wanted to begin, Monica, if I may, by having you please tell us not only what acupuncture is, but how long it's been around, because it's been around a very, very long time.
Yes, it has. Acupuncture is a wonderful system of medicine, and it comes from China. It's been around over 3,000 years. And what does that tell you? It tells you there's something to this medicine. It works. And it's based on a concept of that our body has qi. Now, what is qi? People often refer to it as energy, though it's so much more. Qi is a vital life force that flows throughout our body. And it flows in channels or pathways, and these channels and pathways, when we're in health, the qi flows smoothly. So when the qi gets blocked, then we experience symptoms or pain. And so what acupuncture does, our needles are inserted into acupuncture points all along these channels, and this helps smooth the qi and get the qi moving in the right direction. And once that happens, it brings everything into balance and the pain goes away. So acupuncture is based on not just an individual symptom or sign. We really look at the whole person, so body, mind, and spirit.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you telling us that, and you're absolutely right. First of all, when something has been around, a medicine has been around like acupuncture, right? Eastern medicine. For over 3,000 years, it has helped so many people over that time, and a lot of folks have the misconception that it just helps folks with pain issues. That's the typical stereotype, and that there's long, painful needles being inserted into our body, and that is incorrect as well. And I wanted you to tell us, if you may, Monica, about who's a good candidate that can benefit from acupuncture, what types of problems it helps folks with, and that's a very wide range of folks that would fall into the different problems it helps people with, and also how the needles are actually small and virtually pain-free as opposed to long and painful. So please.
Yes. Well, I'll first start off by saying what acupuncture helps and benefits and effectively treats. So it's a wide range: digestive issues, reproductive issues, headaches, migraines, like you said, anything for pain, and also the emotional side of it as well. So people with depression, PTSD, anxiety, insomnia, sleep issues.
So you're talking about a very wide range of health issues, including mental health issues, that acupuncture can really help us with.
Yes.
As well as improving not only our health, but overall wellness. And it really, like you said, it's a modality that's been around thousands of years, and it really looks at each individual as a whole.
Yes, exactly. And so the acupuncture will not only address your condition, it's also going to help you with, you'll think clearer, you'll sleep better, you'll feel more energized, you'll have this greater sense of well-being and just a lightness, and you'll be able to manage stress more.
Yes, indeed. And as far as the needles go, if you could please tell us a little bit more, because I know that's a big thing we get asked all the time by people, but aren't there big needles that are going to hurt me? And we're like, that's not the case. So we have you, one of this region's top acupuncturists on, so who better than you to please tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yes, the needles are very, very small. They're hair-like, and they don't put anything into the body, and they don't take anything out. So they're not the hypodermic needle. And so they're very thin and flexible. Mostly they're sterile, one-time use. Okay. And people only usually feel a little prick when it's inserted, and then it goes away. Though the person may also feel a little pressure or sensation, and that's the chi moving in the body. And it's a very relaxing treatment. Many people fall asleep on the table.
Well, that says a lot right there. Absolutely, yes. That it's that comforting
yes.
when they're having a treatment done. Now, as far as you've talked about the types of problems it can help folks with, and that covers a lot of people. But at the same time, are there any limitations as far as age, for example? Can children benefit from acupuncture? Can elderly folks in our community benefit from acupuncture as well?
Yes, definitely. Acupuncture has been performed on all ages, so even newborns in China. Newborns have received acupuncture, and all the way up till 100 and whatever can receive acupuncture, though there are some limitations in terms of treatment for specific people and specific conditions. And those would be anyone with a severe bleeding disorder, anyone with metal allergies, anyone with some severe auto or immune conditions, okay, or significant skin conditions.
Okay, so that's certainly good to know. So people basically with those 3 or 4 types of problems or issues could be limited as far as what they're able to, whether they can really take advantage of acupuncture or whether they're a candidate or not. And that would, I take it, to be determined when they come and meet with you initially, exactly, right? That's how the process works.
Exactly.
They would contact you, they set up a consult, and I take it at that time is when you ask them not only those questions, but you give them a thorough evaluation, and then find out what their needs are, what they're experiencing, and how best to customize an acupuncture treatment plan that can help each individual, because no 2 people are alike. We all know that.
Exactly.
Including our energy flows and
right,
everything else that are all taken into account when it comes to customizing an acupuncture treatment that's effective and helps folks.
Yes, exactly.
Now, as far as that initial session, Monica, again, I'm sure it depends on each particular client or patient of yours, but in general terms, how long does it typically take?
Well, the initial treatment, we sit down and we talk about the medical history, we talk about the current conditions and all the body systems, how it's working in each individual. And that takes about 40 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then there'll be a physical exam and then a treatment. So altogether, the initial appointment can last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay. Follow-up appointments are about 1 hour long.
And those are the ones where they come in for the actual acupuncture treatments?
Well, they do get a treatment for the first time as well.
Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. So not only do you evaluate them and then listen to their needs and then customize an acupuncture treatment plan for them, but they also get their first treatment in that initial consult.
They do.
Wonderful. Yes. And again, I'm sure this depends on each individual client of yours or patient. It depends on what their situation is and what they're going to need to have done through acupuncture. But in general terms, do you recommend your clients come in maybe once a week? Is it a couple of times a week or even more depending on each client or patient?
Sure. Well, exactly like you mentioned, it varies from patient to patient. So some of the factors that we look at their age, we look at the condition they have, we look at whether it's acute or chronic, and we look at how long has the patient had these symptoms or conditions, and also how many do they have? Because a lot of times people have more than just one condition. They have multiple.
Yes, indeed. So it really depends on each individual patient, as you said. Now, what type of results are your clients' patients experiencing with you? Because I know acupuncture is a highly effective, safe, pain-free virtually, right? I mean, just a little prick sensation at most initially. So it's very effective modality, helps a lot of folks. So I wanted to ask you, what type of results are your patients seeing?
They're seeing a relief in pain. So definitely their pain becomes less and less. There are some clients who have complete relief from pain. Not just in the level. They're experiencing less stress, less anxiety. Many of them are sleeping better.
When they're sleeping better, their significant others are sleeping better, which
Yes.
means everyone's happy.
Yes.
And they can enjoy life. Their quality of life increases right off the bat with those benefits.
Exactly.
And for folks on the fertility side, for folks who suffer from other issues that you touched on earlier that acupuncture can help people with, because it can literally help everyone of all ages, as you said earlier. I take it they come in here and then some of them would see results right off the bat, depending on their issue, right? And the treatment plan that you customize for them. Others will probably, I would venture to say, start seeing an improvement over subsequent sessions.
Exactly. So on average, an acute condition, you can see results in it resolve within 3 to 6 treatments.
Oh.
With chronic conditions, that's been ongoing for 3 months or more.
Yes.
Those take anywhere from 8 to 10 sessions. Though if someone's really had a certain condition for over 20 years or 10 years, then that's definitely going to take a little more time, a little more regular treatment.
Yes.
And what we do is usually, initially, we may want to see that person twice a week for a couple weeks, and then we'll take it down to once every other week, and then go to once a month. So
Makes perfect sense. And once their issue has been resolved, whatever it may be, do you recommend for them to come back periodically for a tune-up, if I may use that word?
Sure.
And I would think just to come back to relieve the stress and anxiety that we all gain, unfortunately through life, whatever it may be, it starts building up, and then someone can come to someone like yourself to help relieve that as well, even after our initial problem may have been resolved through acupuncture.
Oh, exactly.
The health and wellness benefits, mindfulness benefits that come with
Yes.
acupuncture.
Yes, Rocco, you're spot on with that. Definitely, acupuncture is something that you don't necessarily need to come back once your chi has been balanced, though many times life throws us a curveball and we're not eating the way we should and we're not sleeping like we should, or there's a certain stressor in our life. That's a great time to come in and get an acupuncture
Yes,
treatment.
indeed, especially since it doesn't take long. You're talking about, like you said, 45 minutes or so, right, on average per
Yes.
session. Now, I wanted to also ask you, Monica, about some of the other effective treatments and services that you offer here at Blue Water Acupuncture.
Yes, I offer electro acupuncture, cupping, and gua sha. Electro acupuncture is where an electric current runs through the needle, and this stimulates the needle and on a regular frequency, and it's really waking up that point and helping the chi, giving the chi a direction to go.
Interesting.
Yes.
So that's another option within acupuncture.
Correct. Yes, and the cupping, I don't know if you remember Michael Phelps at the Olympics,
Yes.
where he had those marks on his back. Well, those were from cups, and it's placed on the back, and suction is created. And this method is an old Chinese modality as well, and it creates circulation and blood flow and just overall health, similar to the the acupuncture, gets that chi moving so
Yes.
that the body can come back to homeostasis.
And that is why all of these treatments are so valuable, and that's why they've helped so many over so long, and they'll continue to through eternity, for the simple fact that these are non-invasive. They're customizable to help each individual to really not only solve various health and medical problems that acupuncture helps people with, but as you've mentioned a couple of times here today, it also helps people improve their overall wellness and just find that balance, right?
Yes.
We get misaligned, the chi, the energy, and that is so important, that flows through all of our bodies. You know, things happen in life, whether it's accumulation over time or like you said, an event or something. And guess what? It's a little misaligned, and we need to come and have it realigned. So the chi and the energy is flowing again through our bodies, and we start feeling better, sleeping better, and just enjoying our quality of life takes a big step, as well as helping us with health and medical issues, as you touched on.
Exactly.
Now, we're literally out of time, but I wanted to ask you, Monica, if I may, you and your practice, Blue Water Acupuncture here in Gambrills, Maryland, in Anne Arundel County, certainly established a reputation for excellence. Not only are you one of this region's top acupuncturists, but your clients and patients, they love you. And that's why I wanted to ask you if you could please tell us what you feel helps separate you and your acupuncture practice apart from many of the others.
That's a great question, Rocco. And, you know, as acupuncturists, we care for our patients. We provide compassion and quality treatments and great communication with them. And what sets me apart, I think, is my story. And, you know, I was in the Army for over 22 wonderful years, and I had chronic pain, and Western medicine had helped for a while. Then the pain came back, and so I found acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and it just helped me so greatly. I do this work here not because I need to, not because it's a job or work for me. I do it because it's my passion and I love it.
Yes, indeed, and it's helped you so much in your personal life, as you just mentioned, and now, as a result, you're helping so many throughout the region. You have people coming from other counties as well here in Maryland and even D.C. and Northern Virginia because of the reputation you've established and the care that you really give each and every one of your patients and clients. And on that note, Monica, I would like to thank you for, first of all, serving our country for 22 years.
Thank you.
Thank you again for doing that. But also I wanted to thank you, before I leave here today, for joining us, educating us, and being a guest on our program. I really appreciate you joining us and coming on with us today.
Oh, well, thank you, Rocco. It's been an honor for me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Wonderful having you on, and we'd love to have you back on in the future, Monica.
Thank you.
We're now going to hear from some patients and clients of Monica and Blue Water Acupuncture.
I actually had quite a few things going on. One of the primary things was just a really good bit of mental fog, if I can put it that way, where I had just a tremendous amount of pressure going on in my head, and I wasn't really sure what that was from, and had a very hard time with my mental focus because of that. Also did have a lot of tension built up in my neck and shoulders. That's where I tend to carry it all. As well as just inflammation in the joints and especially in the knees. So a couple things. The brain fog in particular was really frustrating because I found it very difficult to concentrate on even the really simplest tasks that I previously was used to doing. So my functionality wasn't as high. The other thing was the mobility, and just having the energy to go throughout the day was really low because of all the inflammation in the joints. And so just all together, I was really just kind of feeling lethargic all around. So I went into a series of weekly treatments for about 2 months to start the care with Monica. And she would focus on those areas that were most pressing for me, and really tried to pinpoint, where I needed the care most. And so she just did several different types of acupuncture in the different areas that were related to my needs, and including different clearings of traumas and releasing of tensions. And then after that initial series of treatments that were weekly, I was able to maintain now for several months just coming once a month. I think it's just really helped me a lot with the clearing of my mind and helping me with the overall mental focus, and definitely noticed a difference in my mobility and just a release of all that pressure in both in my actual head, in my brain, as well as in that neck and shoulder area. So I've learned even just better posture and stretching techniques that have all really helped between the sessions. Monica is just such a dear. She's so gentle in her approach, where she really takes the time to find out what's really going on, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I think that's one of the things that really sets her apart, is that she really takes the time to listen fully. There's been times where I've sat and talked with her for 15 or 20 minutes before we began treatment, and that's been really valuable because I think she's really been able to tune into what's really needed. And she just has such a calm nature about her. You can't help but feel calmer just walking in the room. And then just from a technical standpoint, it's just been a very easy booking process, and her follow-up is amazing. She always follows up after every appointment to make sure I'm doing okay.
I've had 13 years of migraines. I've had a chronic condition with gastritis in the last couple of years, and I've also had some back and neck issues. The migraines absolutely drained me. They were incapacitating and just made me feel like I couldn't really live a life. The gastritis, of course, affects how you feel, eating, drinking, having severe stomach pain, having to go to the emergency room, and having doctors who are treating you for things and not necessarily giving you the results that you want to have. As far as the muscles in my back and neck, I've had extensive work with physical therapy and massage and that sort of work. And I found that the acupuncture helps me with all of those conditions. We open the meridians and the channels just to bring good energy back to my body and to bring healing energy that affects my organs. Some of those acupuncture positions also are geared at dealing with my migraine specifically. Also, we've done acupuncture in specific muscle groups, and we use different modalities of treatment with the acupuncture that Blue Water acupuncture uses, what's it called? Moxa, I think it is. It's a burning technique that adds heat and warmth to the muscles, and heat lamps. And Monica works very highly with really understanding how your whole body works as a whole, and then we combine those treatments with the acupuncture in different positions of my body. I feel good about the results. I feel that just restoring energy to my body, bringing back some of the chi that is healing. I have gone home with muscle spasms that brought me in, and I've had relief after the treatments that allow me to be able to move and to function. Some of those reduced my migraine issue. And of course, my stomach, I believe, is healing and getting better with the energy that we're providing to all of my gastrointestinal issues. I recommended it to my daughter, and she's also a patient, so I guess that's the highest form of praise when you tell your family to come, and I've certainly given out her cards to multiple people.